Right then, so today I'm going to be showing you some of my old tapes. I've hung on to these for years and years, got a big old box of them there, all sorts of random stuff. But today, just going to be focusing on these ones that I've pulled out. So the ones in the box here, the majority of them are London Pirates. So we've got Freak FM there. EZ was on that back in the day. I did have an EZ tape actually. I don't know where it's gone, but luckily I recorded it onto mini disc. So in another one, when we go through the mini discs, I'll play you that. That's a wicked one. Y2K, that was the station that they made a documentary about on the coast in Essex, I think it was. And then that's also what the program People Just Do Nothing was based on. But it's a wicked station. The guy may have come across not so good, but the music was fantastic. I love those tapes, so they're really good. Upfront FM, that is a stunning tape. The music on that is absolutely amazing. Of course, all of those DJs from the Pirates, they were fierce. They were so tight with their mixing, and the way they used to cut it up. Really, really good. I don't know what's happened to them, but these are the people that should be getting booked. But that's another story altogether. Right. Taste FM we got. I'm not too sure. I don't know much about Taste FM. Ice FM, recorded that when I was in South London. I didn't live there. I was just staying with friends. Now that was the first time I heard UK Garage, and you can see on there the date, the 2nd of the 3rd, 97. So I'm from Brighton. The music's naff down here. We had US Garage down here in the 90s. I don't remember any UK Garage at all, but we had the US stuff. It wasn't like they have in London, but we had it. It wasn't too bad. But music-wise, down here we've always been behind London, but London's London. So that was the first time I heard it, and I tell you what, I'm quite dramatic, and I love my music. I nearly passed out when I heard that. I was like, "What is this?" It was amazing. And I literally just grabbed that tape, whacked it in, and that's the one. And that got me onto it. Below that, another Freak FM tape. And I like the fact to put all the dates on as well. It's nice to know when they were recorded. So then we're going away from the Pirates onto the old licensed station, Kiss FM. It was good back in the day, back in the 90s. Anyone that was around then will know. Any that one that wasn't, it was good. Colin Dale, fantastic. Giles Peterson, one of my absolute heroes, his Inner Vision show, which was on a Sunday. And then my hero of all heroes, Paul Trouble Anderson, the king, certainly the king of US Garage, that's for sure. Some other people think they are, but no, sorry, it was Trouble. Absolutely, it was Trouble. More Trouble there. And then on the B side, Friends FM, there's a Brighton Pirate. I've got lots of tapes of the Brighton Pirates as well. Back in the 90s, they weren't on for long. They would come on for a few months here and there, and they were just on at the weekends. But that was good. It was nice to have something like that because, again, down here, we really didn't have much. We just had the BBC stations, and we had the BBC stations and one commercial station, which was commercial. It was naff. It wasn't till about 98 that we got another commercial station, which was quite alternative back then, but it's poppy as hell now. So, but yeah, there's lots of more radio in Brighton, but yes. Code South is the one. And I'm starting my new show on there on the 12th of April, but that's the only dance station, and they've been going for about 11 years now. Right then, over here we've got a tape which came with the Music magazine. Anyone that remembers that? Another one from back in the day. Ambient IB. That was just one of those tapes. If anyone remembers those stalls at markets where they had a load of copied tapes or a load of made-up tapes of things like this, Ambient IB for. Someone's just made an album and they've sold it. They used to sell them for about £3 each. Radioactive, that was a Brighton pirate towards the end of the 90s. They literally were a pop-up pirate. They would come on for one weekend. Oh, God, maybe once, twice a year, something like that, if I remember right. Not often. Giles Peterson again. Friends FM again. That was pretty cool. Innovisions Giles. Radioactive again. Worldwide Giles. These acid tapes from back in the 80s, they were pretty good. I had some of the albums on vinyl as well. New York Jazz Week from Jazz FM. Norman CTC. So Norman was a guy who was like the unofficial radio authority here in Brighton. And if you were doing a pirate, you would go to Norman and he would allocate you a spot on the dial. So, but he was a radio engineer and very good as well. DFM, now DFM, that was a RSL station, restricted service license. So come on for 4 weeks, 28 days, usually for a special reason, like if there was a festival on. But back then, people were coming on and doing these stations because they knew licenses, full-time licenses, were going to be up for grabs. So they would come on to kind of, I guess, prove themselves, really. I worked for DFM. I was very young. I was about 14. But it was fantastic because I got to work alongside some legendary people. Marshall Jefferson was there. Shola Hammer was there. Who else was there? Norman Cook, Cole Cox was there. All sorts of people passing through. De-Influence. It was fantastic. So that was a really great experience for me at such a young age. And then Cole Cox on Festival Radio. That was fierce as well. So I was laying in my bed. I had school the next morning. I was like 12, 13. And I had a tape deck in my bed. And I was, meant to be in bed. But I was taping Cole Cox. And the next day, me and my friend, who was banging to his music as well, we listened to it on the way to school. And I had a car amplifier, a car speaker, a 12-volt jelly battery to power it, and a Walkman plugged into it. And we were banging out industrial strength hardcore from my school bag. So slightly eccentric. Right then, so I'm going to take a cut here and get one of these tapes in. Right then, guys, I'm going to start off with that Freak FM tape. I've pulled a speaker down so we can hear it properly. So let's have a little listen.
Lots of freak inside of this show, y'all. It's so good. Lots of freak inside of this show, y'all. It's so good. Lots of freak inside of this show, y'all. Don't hold back. Lots of freak. Hold back the feeling. Don't hold back.
Right then, here is a little bit of the upfront.
Hold on the phone line, massive. 0956 956 393. Get busy on the case. Hold tight to Kenny, over there in the Grove Park region. Nice and easy. DJ.
Let's have another listen to one more. I think we'll go for Colin Dale next. And yeah, let's check that out. Okay, we've certainly changed the tune here. Yeah, banging out a bit of techno and all of that. I like some techno, especially the older stuff, but he plays some other stuff which might be considered as like early tech house, and he mixes it with craft work and stuff like that, the numbers tune. I love all that. Some of it's a bit heavy for me, but we'll just have a little listen. Good stuff there. That one was recorded on the 11th of January 96. So yeah, anyway guys, thank you for watching, and I will be back with part 2, and I dare say part 3, 4 and 5 and all the rest of it, going through some more tapes. Got this big box as well, and then move on to the mini discs, I guess. So yeah, good job I was archiving all this music back in the day. All right then, thanks for watching, catch you soon.